So Swerve Strickland appeared on the Baller Alert podcast and gave some rather interesting comments that may or may not fly under the radar. I think people have been seeing this story and seeing it circulate as WWE pays way better than AEW. That's kind of been like the headline take. But I think if you look at what he's saying and look at it from a couple other perspectives, this is part of something that I wish a lot of pro wrestlers gave us a lot more insight into. Us as fans, people that cover wrestling, people that look at it kind of in a worldly sense, we would gain a further understanding about how a lot of the business works behind this stuff. You might see someone on TV and think they're a superstar. You might see someone, headlining, third from the top at the Tokyo Dome and be like, oh, okay, you think they're doing, a certain amount of money, but they might be doing something else. And comments like these from Swerve, I think, draw us a little closer to cracking that veneer. We're going to play the comments that he had from the Ball Alert show here. I'm just going to pause it anytime there's anything interesting. Yeah.
I have a question. Who paid better?
Oh, as far as like
WWE or AEW?
AEW by far.
Yeah?
By far. Because it's guaranteed.
Oh.
So when I hear something like that, guaranteed. Now, people have talked about guaranteed money in wrestling back to Mark Merrill in 1996. And of course, the Outsiders, Nash and Hall jumped to WCW for guaranteed money. What does guaranteed money really mean in 2026, though? It seems like you can't get anyone out of bed for something that's not guaranteed. There's been a lot of controversy about WWE willing or not willing to pay, prospective signees and where they see them as, and if people have to start in NXT. We've talked about the NXT salaries being what they were probably in the late 2010s, in the 70 to, I would say, 100,000 range now. You're probably like coming in on that per year. And in WWE, the finances are different. You're paying your road expenses. AEW, that stuff is kind of taken care of for you. You do have freedom to do outside projects. The PR is kind of baked into that too. WWE is different. Like, it's, how it's always been explained to me is, the top people are always going to be taken care of. But after that, there's a baseline, and then, there's your road expenses, your taxes, all that stuff. And it's not the dream that it's cracked up to be unless you crack that big ceiling. So
WWE doesn't do guarantees,
and they got their select few up top that like the top like they're just like untouchables, like but a lot of those guys are starting to retire now, so that's starting to, like, Cena just retired, AJ Styles just retired. Those are like the top earners. Like Taker can't go no more. So like that pyramid is starting to really get really pointy and small up top. So up here is like, because if I could compare the two, like Tony Khan owns AEW, he's also a part owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Fulham.
So when he talked about that pyramid, I think there's only so many people that they're going to let into that pyramid. Do you think they love the people they have under contract like that to just artificially boost them? I don't know, neither here or there. But wrestlers like Swerve talking about this in public, this is something I think all pro wrestlers can learn from, because you can speak openly and not disrespect anybody. You can call it for what it is, and you never know how that's going to work out for you in the end. Like, these comments are out on record. Like, Swerve is a great businessman. He's only going to be more valuable than he is in 2026, say, whenever his deal is up. Tony Khan's going to have to come correct. WWE is going to have to come correct if they want, to get in the room with him. And in turn, if, whatever deal is taken on the other side, there's going to be a spot for somebody to go somewhere. So I think even if more pro wrestlers did this, they might even make themselves more attractive. But it's all, it's all tact.
women's soccer team in the UK. He treats the roster like talent, like not talent, but like athletes. He's there's player coaches, there's organization, there's system coaches.
Yeah.
He's a player's booker.
Okay.
He's in tune with his talent and his roster and where to put those guys. Like, he utilizes this very well, and it's like a scheme on a football team. So so me and him gel very, 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 very well, because he knows like my strengths. He knows where I belong. He knows how to utilize all his players in the right way. So therefore, he knows how to pay them too. And motivate them in certain ways. He's like, especially, we're only in year 7 of the company, which is very small, very, very small window and short time of being in a wrestling promotion as big as we are. We did 80,000 seats in Wembley Stadium and we filled it.
Wow.
And like we did 30,000 in All in Texas Globe Life Field this past past July. We're about to go back to Wembley again, and we're about to do Crypto Arena in 2 weeks in LA.
These are comments that all pro wrestlers should be paying attention to, fans as well. When somebody tells you, what the culture is like at one place, this is all stuff you can write down in your book. This is all stuff you can, reference later on and say, hey, this is how this is what I bring to the game. This is, what I expect to be compensated as, regardless of whatever lowball stories WWE is, has attached to them with NXT and, some of the, regular main roster contracts. There's more money in pro wrestling now than ever. Somebody will get it. And when comments like this go out, I don't think either side, when I speak of the big two, want to just let things ride that may be unfavorable. So, if that's the thing out there, well, at the very top, maybe the middle starts to get taken care of more. Maybe, the top gets a new person that's put in the top. Maybe it's them aggressively reshuffling their recruiting process. And that could be WWE, that could be AEW, that could be TNA, that could be New Japan. There's a lot of sliding doors of wrestling right now with the mergers, the TV money, and wrestlers changing promotions. If you're a fan watching this, I bet you're probably thinking, well, what does that really have to do with how I watch wrestling? Honestly, nothing. Like, you can turn the TV on no matter, what promotion that you're into, and you can probably find a favorite wrestler. You can probably find somebody that you enjoy how they do their thing. But all I'm saying is it ain't just you that's watching them. Everyone's watching everyone. I would definitely note that. So anyway, my name's Rich. Hope you guys like this video. And thank you guys for the stellar momentum that's on the channel. And I'm just blown away. We're just going through it. We're going to keep rising up, man. They won't stop us. The takeover is on. It's real. Hall P-Dub in the house. Go and hit that like button on your way out. Leave a few words and I'll holler back soon. Till we meet again, reach the stars and the moon. Woo!